Hello, Bunkerbu and Raiders. Thank you very much for the raid. We are about to set up a match here. Let me see here. We are going to see BladeTwinSwords versus Rywek. I think that's a Lizards 4 match. Yep, Lizards 4, so our lower bracket. Looks like we've pulled another MT classic for them. Let's see what they've played so far. So BladeTwinSwords played versus Atom played a game called Rota. I think that's like a indie puzzle platformer where you rotate the world. Then GG Series Assault Buster. Kind of a fixed screen or single screen shooter map maybe. And then Great Whip Adventure. Oh yeah, doesn't say so in the title here, but that's also from the GG series, which is like I guess a series of budget games or something like that for the DSi. So BTS got 2 of them in succession. And then Rywek played Jump Copy Paste, that's a Hempoli puzzle platformer. Then the NES Ports RTA Extreme Medley, one of our special submissions where you play multiple games strung together by emulator scripting. Bunch of NES sports games. Then played Rapid Angel. I don't think I know the game. Must have missed the match. And Rywek also played the MT Classic Streamers. Don't know which mode that was. Oh yeah, I think we've seen the VVV style modes recently, so this must have been the regular grapple mode. And it looks like we're getting a classic MT genre coming up. Have to do some more setup here. Oh really, they sold it in the West without translation? You get the bad ending if you hit the cat. Rapid Angel, let's see, maybe I can... I guess I think I saw a bit of this match, but I only vaguely remember it. Sorry, I was just testing something. I think our players have the game up already, even if they're not quite ready yet, so let's have a look here. We have Finger Stretching Sokoban by our very own Hectate, who's in chat. Thank you very much for the sub. And everyone get your Sokoban detected emotes ready, I suppose. I see the first stage is called Sokoban was a mistake. That's nice. Maybe a question to Hectate. Does this game have music? Looks like we're starting. In 2, 1, now.
Hello, Muir.
Hello.
Oh no, it's Finger Stretching Sokoban. I really should check the stream before I come in here. This has bit me twice.
Okay, looks like the game doesn't have music, then put on Rainwave again.
This is a game submitted by Hectate as we begin this race. I don't know how much you know about this game.
I think I must have seen it before. Not just submitted by Hectate, but also made by Hectate.
Correct. So this was made by Hectate, and it was actually posted in the development channel of our little Discord here. And it was, I had the honor of playing this the day it came out. So there are a few things that we're going to note about this game. So 1, you have 4 fingers. Those 4 fingers can continue to stretch in any way, shape, or form that they want. And you don't need to move one exclusively and then move the other. You don't need to return it to its default position at any given time. So as we can see there with BTS doing that exact maneuver. Another thing to note is that the fingers will always take up one tile there on the left, so you can easily push into situations like where Rywek is, where you have a dead box in that corner because there's just no way to get that box moved. And unfortunately, Rywek just does not recognize that.
Both of them locking that box in. Oh,
the main mechanic we're going to be dealing with is lasers. Convenient timing, BTS. So, lasers stun the finger that is being hit by the laser. And they will also destroy boxes. So the lasers are going to be the core mechanic going into this. What we need to make sure that we're doing is once we've stunned a finger, we can't get it out.
Okay, but if you block the laser, then the finger is good to go again?
Yeah, so if you block the laser with another finger, the finger is good to go again. So what we want to do here on this stage is we want to take A and F and we want to block off the lasers, and then S can just solve the whole thing. Like, we don't even need D at all. Or that works too.
Hope the stages don't get too wide, and I could crop this a bit more.
They don't.
They don't. Small on stream.
This is. They get reasonably bigger, but not like. Too bad. You'll definitely want to cut out a little, give them a little bit more space for stages. So now we get to learn that lasers, by the way, are pushable. So lasers are physical objects that we can maneuver and manipulate. And we can use that to kind of sort of climb with a finger in this instance. Now, I note that there are some simpler solutions than the ones that they are using right now. And I don't know if Rywek has really noticed that we can push lasers so much. But this'll do. This'll do for Rywek.
Oh yeah, that worked nicely. BTS also on this stage.
So here's where we're really learning about the lasers being able to be pushed behind stuff. Because we can get those lasers behind those blocks and therefore safe, but how do we get them, you know, to freely work forever or something? So this is a thought. We're just gonna keep slowly pushing it aside, but Rywek is slowly seeing the issue with that. Neither of them have pushed the turrets yet.
Okay, I guess they'll try sooner or later. Let's see if it's in the paste bin. No. Don't explicitly say that you can do that, but I'm sure they'll figure it out quickly. Both on the same stage again.
Hectate, why aren't you coming into this commentary and joining us and talk about the game? Save me from your nonsense. Come talk about the game. Give Muware a co-commentator that isn't me. My notorious love for Sokoban. We all know how much I love Sokoban.
I mean, you are welcome to join if you wanna talk a bit about the game. So BTS?
Alright, BTS has figured out the lasers, yeah.
Rywek still trying to hold the lasers shut.
So the trick to this stage is realizing that you can push 2 lasers into spot, and you gotta stun 2 of them. So that's you're gonna need to use the middle ones basically, or stun on the middle ones. And BTS has gotten close as a result of it. But you gotta realize that there's 4 lasers, and that means that would be 4 fingers that you'd have to get stunned in order to get to the right. So something has to give.
Yes, not doing anything so far with the right side, but this getting the boxes ahead.
Yeah, that's the thing that I'm noticing about both of these players. Is, well, I mean, to be fair, you can't do anything on the right side because you have to kind of get the F across, and it's not really able to be done so well here.
Rywek's solution looks like it could at least go somewhere. He's also getting the boxes into the middle, even without moving the lasers. Maybe if you would have blocked it 1 higher, then they could have... Okay, but then you can't unblock the laser.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's to be expected that you have to push the lasers here. But it looks like you almost can cheese it. BTS looking good now. At least on one side again. So far, BTS hasn't made any movements to block the right laser still.
Well, because once again, once the problem is that we need to use F to get the right laser out, but we need to block both those lasers to get out F out to free. Basically, we're going to need to use S to block the laser, D to block the second laser, F to free D, and then D to push the boxes.
I see. Okay, looks like
So
we're going the right way.
We need this, but the problem is that while this is how we move forward, we still don't have the boxes. S is stunned there, and we don't have the boxes on the other side yet. So we need those boxes.
And we've got Hector with us now. Hello.
Oh, and Rywek has figured out to push laser.
We're not hearing you yet, Hector.
Hold on, my audio is weird.
Oh, there we
Now
go.
your audio is not weird. Okay, well, if you start saying anything after hold on, my audio is weird, then
Can you hear me?
I
Yes.
can hear you now.
There we go.
Hello, Hector. Thank you for giving us
Well, hello.
body horror Sokoban.
This was the plan all along.
Could have done without the fingernails. For some reason, the way that fingernails look, it's definitely hits the X.
I want you to understand that the fingernails were very much important to the design of the game. They are vital,
They absolutely are.
along with the pale, deadly-looking color.
So, let me ask you, is this inspired by the time that your finger was hit by a laser and you just went ow and you couldn't move it for a bit?
Ironically, it was not. No. This game was actually inspired by my own MT match, which I did lose playing Handshakes, free on Steam. But yeah, I had this idea for Sokoban where at first I was going to do full physics fingers, and then I realized just how terrible of an idea that would be.
Fair.
Trying to picture what full physics fingers, like a physics jank game where the boxes and the fingers have a real
Yes.
physics simulation.
Yes. Imagine pushing a link of sausages through the level.
So, Baba is you extreme, but with fingernails.
I'm kind of
Exactly.
picturing genital jousting.
What we're seeing here is Rywek has definitely got the right idea. The question remains about whether or not he will finish with the last trick, because this particular level has one last trick up its sleeve.
Yeah, we
to
gotta
get to the
use
finish line.
we gotta use D to stun the laser, F to push it off to free D, and then we can get through just fine.
That has traditionally walled the playtesters I have seen, where they don't catch the idea that you can freeze a finger and then unfreeze it. But nope, he's got it.
There we go. That's going to give this stage a clear for Rywek, and BTS has in a position as well, I think. Yeah, BTS
Yes.
has in a position as well. So now we have the crisscross. How do we get two boxes on either side of the stage across lasers, knowing that if we stun a laser, we're going to, or if we put a finger into the laser, it's going to get stunned there. And
Yeah,
the trick.
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah. I mean, this is a math problem too, right? Like you're going to most likely, just looking at this level, need to lose two fingers, because the S and the D fingers prevent you from essentially getting in there if those fingers are being used.
Yeah, so we gotta. You can identify quickly that basically. So this one's a bit weird because I believe you need to make a bit of a ladder with F and D.
Correct.
So F is going to free D, and then D is going to need to sneak around and free F, and so on and so forth, as we push the box up into that spot.
Yeah, the real trick to this level is knowing when to crisscross, which looks like Rywek has figured out at least one of them, but he is locked. He has locked a box in a corner next to A, which is completely frozen with no way to unfreeze it.
Yeah, this is we're seeing Rywek get stuck by the core concept of Sokoban of dead blocks, where once a box hits the corner or the wall, like once it hits the wall, it can only go in 2 directions, and once it hits a corner, it can go in 0 directions.
Yeah, and to answer your earlier question about the lasers came about because it became pretty clear early on that just pushing boxes around with fingers wasn't interesting enough because there would be no way to make a challenge with fingers that could be infinitely, extended or retracted. Because while they can block yourself in a level, there's nothing to stop them from continuing to block things in the level. So I needed something to freeze it up, and lasers came up as a nice little trick.
So you're using the game design thought of adding constraints that turn the solution from being an infinitely vast options to limiting it as a result of just by adding that mechanic. Like what I was trying to get at is have you ever watched Ars Technica's War Stories series?
I'm familiar with Ars Technica. I do not know the War Story series now.
So the War Story series is a series of developers, famous games developers, talking about things that they did with their game. And one of the interesting ones that I watched was Crash Bandicoot. And the reason I mention this is because you had mentioned something very similar to what Crash Bandicoot had in the problem space. So Crash Bandicoot being the first of its kind 3D platformer, or at least the most well-known one, is that you had a lot of space in that 3D realm to work with, right? But by constraining that space, by tightening up the size of the level and making it more vertical, and then playing with how we constrain the other spaces, we create limitations that prevent it from being as wide open and as it could have been in order to provide a challenge. So basically, you're adding the idea of adding challenges means that we're adding constraints. Right now we have 4 freely movable fingers. So by adding the constraint of the laser in order to force those fingers to not be able to be used constantly is how we're going to generate challenge.
Yeah, absolutely. And in fact, the idea even extends to the idea of the design itself. So what I really didn't, discuss earlier was essentially this is the first game I ever made in Godot, only full game. I've made lots of little projects now, but I wanted something that I could basically experiment with, and I needed it to be very narrow and tailored and controlled so that it didn't grow excessively out of bounds.
You wanted to avoid feature creep the game.
Exactly.
I wouldn't know what that's like. My game will never be released.
Yeah. We're seeing Rywek here, interestingly enough, on a level that came about as I was thinking, what happens if I force the player to destroy some boxes?
Yeah, because you created a line of boxes that because they're all 4x4 boxes, they're all in corners.
They cannot be multi-pushed, exactly.
Yeah. So we have to very explicitly break boxes, and then we gotta also make sure that we can get that laser out of there as well. But I mean, we only need 2 boxes for the end, right? So like that's an important thing to zero in on pretty quickly. And Rywek has, by the way, 2 levels over BTS now.
He does. We've lost the level counter, which I very deliberately included, but we have lost some of the information here. Oh no. There we go. BTS is still, unfortunately, trying to figure out the crisscross ladder, I guess we could say.
It doesn't ladder as much as you might think when looking at it initially, but yeah, you basically do have that crisscross ladder, like you'd said. Now, when you were building this game, did you have a specific level amount in target, or did you just go with, well, I can't come up with any more concepts, so we're moving on?
There was both scenarios. So I had a target for how many levels I wanted to create, roughly 10 per quote world. Had ideas initially for about 6 worlds. As the development wore on, I realized I was losing steam, and as any puzzle player can tell you, puzzles can be challenging. Any puzzle designer can tell you designing puzzles can be just as challenging, if not even more gray hair inducing. So yeah, as these little elements were added, each one kind of became the idea of one world. Like the lasers are their own little world here, and the scope was going to keep getting bigger. And like I said earlier, I wanted to be able to finish something, so I had to draw a line in the sand. So now we're not even seeing the full game, I think, based on the
we are
paste bin. Oh, it is beat the game. Okay, paste bin says otherwise.
I'm trying to remember if I beat this game or if I screamed into the void at some point and stopped.
I spoke to a friend and another group that had played it, and I asked him how he was enjoying it, and he told me that one of the levels was giving him a lot of trouble. And I said, yeah, a lot of people got stuck pretty hard, and I named one of the future levels we haven't seen yet, and he said, oh, I'm not even there yet.
You mentioned the goal. I'm just noticing on the draw sheet it says beat the game, but the race is beat 1-9. So the race room also says beat 1-9.
Oh.
If that's not the final stage, then I think we're doing that.
I see we're all confused in here.
Don't blame me, I just made it.
I'm gonna blame you. You made it.
I did submit a paste bin, but I'm pretty sure mine said beat the game, so that's why I noticed it was different. Or re-entry.
I think you're the first person I've seen pronounce it re-entry.
Is it not?
Well, that would require an extra E. I think it's just rentry.
You may be correct. Rentry. But if you pronounce the N as, re-entry.
I guess it would work if they would write it uppercase. Both players pretty stuck on their stages.
So when developing this game, are you not aware that you could just take 2 of your fingers, and if you can't push the box forward, you can take both those fingers and push up against the box on either side and use friction to pull it towards you or away? Like, why can't I tweezer the boxes? Why can't I tweezer the boxes?
So to tweezer the boxes, hey, yep, we do have progress. To tweezer the boxes, the controls would have to be completely changed. So at the moment, if you've not played it, for those of you watching, the way this functions is the WASD keys, or I'm sorry, not even WASD, ASDF controls each of the appropriate fingers as labeled, and then the arrow keys moves all activated fingers at once. So
we can move multiple fingers? I'm not sure.
Absolutely, we haven't seen it yet. There will be levels, if we beat the game, that essentially require it, but we may not see those since we just modified the goal, but or clarified maybe. But yeah, so in order for you to tweezer, you have to be able to squeeze in 2 different directions, and the controls do not permit that.
I just think you forgot how fingers work.
Yes, I did, definitely, because this is not how fingers work.
No, not at all. Everybody's like, this seems like that hand game, Tough Love Machine. Honestly, you know what this reminds me of the most is that old Flash wrestler game where he's on the toilet and he needs to get the toilet paper and he does so by stretching his neck through some very small holes.
Yes, and if you missed it earlier, this game was inspired by handshakes. BTS, interestingly, on this level, not catching what this sort of core mechanic was designed around yet. Looked like Rywek seemed to get it really quickly, but this is essentially an airlock level. The two boxes are in a position that you have to move them out, but then you have to retreat around and essentially find a way to protect them from the lasers that because of the way the lasers work, they can only move in the directions that aren't facing the laser. So in this particular case, up, down, and left or right, depending on the laser.
I kind of question, though, why we can't just push the lasers down and stun S&D and call it a day.
You could. I think so.
In fact, I think that might be what I did. Like, yeah, if you look at the stage, you can realize pretty quickly you don't need S&D at all. You just need one finger to treat this like a regular old Sokoban level. So just getting rid of those two lasers by just shutting off those two fingers is a valuable solution.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I definitely made sort of a small list, you might say, of requirements. So BTS doing the, as I think of it, the airlock protector, like shield there. But definitely made a list of things that like I would not do to players or expect of players. So one of those being like make levels where there was no value to all the fingers or to some of the fingers. Like I wanted everything to be needed, but as the levels increase in difficulty, that becomes more and more true. So there is some flex in that as far as making the fingers useful to the game.
Now, as a puzzle designer, how do you feel about players finding unintended solution? Do you welcome that? Okay.
I love it. Yeah, so there was some play testing. I gave everybody some opportunity for early access and definitely found some ways to finish the level that were not expected or intended by me. And I loved it because it was eye-opening as far as like assumptions. Because as a designer, you get these blinders on where you don't realize. Oh boy, this one's fun. You don't realize what is. This is a troll level a bit. Yeah. So for the people watching, you cannot see on Rywek's screen the sort of the header. I believe the title of this is something like "Just One Box." That sounds easy or something like that. But if you pay attention, you do not only have one box. There's only one box not completed. But there's no rule saying I can't spawn boxes on top of places. And as you can see from Rywek, he's spending some time analyzing it, it looks like.
So there are I believe 4 box marks on this one.
No, it's definitely more than 4. I can think. Let me see. Placements are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think it's 7. And Rywek's about to uncover one. This was the one flaw with this level. So if you'll notice, Rywek's A finger just was on that box on the lowest left. You cannot see underneath his spot there. He's just destroyed some boxes that he may or may not need, but and he's covering it up. He does not know. Yes, there's a little bit. So that's unfortunate because I never had a solution for that, essentially. But there is a target hidden under there.
Yeah, this is definitely the rudest level, and I think the reason I don't like this level compared to a lot of them is that because the boxes are hidden, there's trial and error to this one rather than just an outright you can plot ahead the solution.
Exactly. Yeah. I waffled on this level for a bit, but and to answer in chat, yes, you will have to remove boxes from the X's and then place them back. Essentially, this level is, kind of forcing you to like destroy the level as you complete it, and then you realize that you have to put other boxes in there. Like
that's a
it
meme
took a
trap
while
up there.
to craft this one. Yes.
Rywek
Took
push
a while to-
filling in
Oh.
the first slot, but uncovering another target
Yes.
with that.
And now he sees the one that he's just taken. And so this is the trap with this level, right? You hesitate to move the boxes off of it because isn't that the goal, to put them on there? But this level was very carefully designed to make sure that you could not beat it without removing boxes from targets and putting new ones on there.
Yeah, that's a really important thing to learn, is that like backward progress doesn't mean no progress. Like sometimes you have to undo something in order to make something movable for the future.
I
So
guess-
Furritor in chat mentioning he doesn't know why you wouldn't just clear the field down to 10 boxes and then assess the situation. I mean, you could, but what you would probably find is that many of the boxes are trapped, because if you look, there's a lot of core area between bricks and boxes where there are unmovable boxes.
Yeah, there are 3, I think. It looks like maybe just. Okay, it's 2 areas, but there are a total of 10 boxes there that I can see that you can't move in any way, shape, or form. Actually, there's more. There's 10. There's can't move any of those 3, so you got all those ones stuck.
And I'll
There's-
admit, I have a particular hate for boxes too, and I love smashing them because that's how I lost my handshakes race.
Ah.
I was smashing a box too many times that I needed.
Hey, there's something to be said about catharsis in design.
Absolutely.
We've had 3 finger puns from Furret at this point. This race goes on too long, and we won't have it. Like, we'll run out. We'll run out. But if Furret were to maintain those puns for the entirety of the race, I would definitely have to hand it to it.
Has a ring of truth to it. So we've now reached the same level, and we see BTS experiencing the same joy that Rywek has been. Rywek, in the meantime, is exploring the right side of this pretty dense map. I'll tell you, like, this level started with literally the borders with the lasers, which of course are in corners, so they can't be moved. They're facing each other, so it requires 2 fingers to block one wall, like we saw at the top there earlier. And I filled it with boxes. I just completely filled with boxes, and then began strategically removing boxes. I did put the 2 vertical walls of bricks in there, and then eventually punched some holes in it. I kind of wish that I had saved some levels in like essentially a time-lapse view, so I could share how the process went of designing them, because it was very much iterative.
Now, did you consider spelling out clever messages in the holes in the boxes, or did that opportunity just whiff you by?
I can't say that it didn't occur to me that I could do like a final level or something with like a thank you or something, but no, I did not implement that.
I was trying to read this as some sort of text when I first saw the stage, but yeah, there's nothing there.
Nope, it was all about the design in this case. This level is full of mean tricks. I will completely tell you the truth. Like, for example, what's happening here on BTS's side. Okay, nope, he's reset. Would have failed the level later.
Yeah, it's really tempting to just like willy-nilly smash the boxes, but you've got to figure out which ones you can't smash.
Well, and I'll put it this way, like, they're still working towards, both of them are still working towards, even as long as Rywek's been on this level, that top visible, the first one, right? The bait, as it were. But there are multiple ones that they have not even seen yet at this point, because they have not reached the bait.
I want to like what BTS is doing or what Rywek is doing, but there's definitely it's not going to work because too many of those boxes are locked down over there.
Actually, this is good for Rywek. So there is a target. Oh, reset. There was a target on the left that was covered, and half of the upper lasers were blocked, which is exactly the position you want to be in initially on that side. I don't want to give everything away kind of situation here.
What? You don't want to reveal all your tricks?
I want chat to come to the realization as the players do that they have achieved, shall we say, Sokoban Nirvana.
So you don't want me to do this?
Man, that almost feels like cheating. So, but no, this would be interesting. So let's count them out. How many targets have we actually seen? So, the bottom left.
Yeah. So we've seen this one. We've seen this one. I believe it's this one.
Oh, another pun from Ferret Turret.
And we've also seen this one.
We have seen that one. Yes, there are.
I think there's one over in this area.
A little close, just to the left of the wall. Instead, it's covered by a box.
Oh, this one right here.
Yep. I believe that's the one. And there's actually even one more beyond that.
All right, so these are the boxes we know.
Yes. Targets we know, but yes, I call them targets anyway.
Correct, yeah, that's fair. They're targets.
Rywek cleared out a whole bunch in the middle there. I'm not sure that's really that useful, since you kind of go around to get to the goal.
It's a little bit of a trap for later, so you will want a box, at least one free box at the end.
I seem to recall that the solution to this level involved using A and F to block the top laser and creating a long route that D could take in order to get to that top box, and then get another box put back in place with S.
Correct, yes, because there's actually a third, that's a little triad up there of targets. So the little bait box, or target, the only box you can put in that location, because of all of the walls and the other things, is the one that is currently on a target. So you have to move that off the target to put the bait there. But then there's a target there now, and so the only box that can go there is the one below it. But surprise, there's another one under there too. So you need a free box in that sort of center middle area, like the one that's by S on BTS's screen right now, to push up that pipe, as it were. So yeah, there's a lot going on in this level, and I feel a little bad for people that play it, because it is such an evil level. But
especially when you still got 2 worlds after this one.
Yes.
Now, are these worlds involving other mechanics?
There will be more mechanics, yes. And I had more planned, as I mentioned, but we fell upon them. There'll be one other mechanic which will fit into the mix, and I will permit people to see it. We are beat 1-9. Maybe we will not see it. I don't know, because it would be World 2 now that I'm thinking about it. Right, boxes only is 0.
Here's Rywek doing the doing that one, but we got 2 problems here. One, we've got that
so evil.
Stop and stare.
But he's got extra boxes. He can still do this. It's possible to save.
Is it though? Oh yeah, it totally is. It is. Right there. We just need this box right here, and then S to bring it up. And Rywek gets the clear.
Clear. It took 36 minutes. Oh no, that was the total time. Okay, yeah. I didn't see the final time.
Not bad, actually.
No, honestly, for such a challenging level. Meanwhile, BTS has purged the boxes as well, and is wondering why he decided to join MT to play Sokoban games.
Yeah, the problem that BTS has now is that there is no way to get S, or there's no way to get D around that top block. because you've created a full blockade over on the right-hand side.
Exactly. Yeah, you are blocked in by that. It's part of the design because F must block the laser. It will be frozen in a position that will prevent D from getting there now that you've blocked in that other one. Again, this level that BTS is still on is all about, just because the box was there to begin with doesn't mean it needs to stay there. In fact, most all of them need to move at some point.
Here we do this, we go to the other one. Am I missing one?
You are missing... No, I don't believe so, actually, because one is exposed at the moment, so it's not circled, but it's there.
Yeah. Okay, that would explain the miscount on my part.
Now, yeah, this level Rywek is now on is pretty interesting. I did some pretty thorough testing. Some playtesters helped me as well. There's exactly one way to finish this level. It's a little non-obvious, although it does harken back to the earlier, as I called it, laser jail level. Most of this level, as you can see what Rywek's doing right now, is essentially shepherding these boxes across the level. Yes. And you lose a finger each time. This goes back to what I was saying earlier, design-wise. Like, I want to make sure every finger is useful and not just, there. And this level definitely does that to you. But, yeah, you can see leaving little spaces for the other fingers to manipulate them.
Looks like you can disable the second to last laser. You block it with one and then... I guess if you block it with D, yeah, Rywek's probably gonna do it now.
Yep. This is one of the steps. The real trick will be getting past this last laser in a manner that finishes it safely.
Because if Rywek goes around the left side before going up to block the laser, then F would have enough space to move.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So I had a quick peek at the level number, and I think Rywek's is 1-8, so we are almost at the last level already.
You can see Rywek considering how he's going to get these boxes over the last laser hurdle, as it were, piling up on one side to stage him in advance.
Rywek is doing a good job of trying to keep in mind what the future is going to look like here.
Yes. Not locking in boxes, trying to make sure there's space to move them if need be, not relying necessarily on undo.
And also realizing where F can move them when F is the one that needs to do the job.
Yeah. And Ender in chat asking about the binding. I am not sure how your keyboard may relate to it. The game uses key codes specifically to recognize which key is pressed. So, or character codes, I suppose I might say. It depends on how Godot has it programmed in there. So, it definitely could do some weird things depending on the keyboard layout you have set up. I did not do a lot of testing on that, to be honest.
In the earlier race today, we had a player with a French AZERTY keyboard, so I guess that wouldn't work as well here.
Possibly. Yeah, like I said, I'm not sure, because certainly the game expects ASDF. But I do know that Godot has a setup where you can program it based on keyboard layout. Not that I specifically did that, but I may have inadvertently done so.
Okay, so Rywek has an idea here, but I believe that this idea is fraught because we can't get that. We have no way to access that top right box in that situation. It's arguably better, but it's the same situation, just with an extra step.
Yeah. Yeah, so we can see Rywek trying to free F and getting stuck behind these boxes that are essentially blocking him from pushing across while D is unlocking, as it were, the last gate, which is the final trick of this particular level. Most of it to this point is just layers of progress, essentially, which are fairly straightforward.
Basically, just recognizing that we can't manipulate the boxes individually. We have to kind of get them going in groups, pick up the next straggler, keep them all moving together, and
Yes.
then block off the fingers one by one.
Oh, BTS
meanwhile-
reached the top and has seen that there's another target there.
He's actually in a good position. So he's got all the extra boxes he needs. There's one by S. There's one further back near
He's
the corners
not
of
in
D.
a good position. He can't solve this.
Well, he's in a solvable state, but he's unsatisfied with the solve at this point. So he's debating a solution.
He's currently unsolvable right now. F is covering up a target.
No, I don't think it is, actually. I think it's on target. I think you're...
Yeah, I
Oh,
think I
target
didn't
off?
see
Off?
one there.
Oh, is my target off? Oh.
Here
and
it
my
goes.
circle
That's a
off. My
solve. Yep,
circle's
your target
off.
is off. There we go. Now
Hey.
we have the knowledge gap. BTS seeing a new level for the first time. And this is, did we say 1-8? Like, again, I can't see.
Yep, I think so.
Okay.
This is still not a foregone conclusion because these are
Yes.
the last stage is, I believe, a doozy.
Yes. Yes. And the fun thing, so the next stage, obviously we'll see it hopefully soon, but the next stage is significantly different from this one that they're both on at the moment. The moment, the one that they're on is very limited options, which in a puzzle game, as we've heard other commentators talk about, is kind of can be a blessing if you can think your way through it. Like, if you only have 3 possible moves, well, what are the result of using those 3 moves, and how does that affect what you can do to beat the level? The next one is a little more freeform and open.
God, if only I had a way to double check how far I actually went into this game because I never erased it off my computer or something.
Man. If only I'd conveniently put stars on every level that you beat so that you knew how far you'd made it.
All right. So I made it, by the way, to I made it all the way to stage 1-8. I didn't finish stage 1-8. I didn't finish this one. This is about this point where I screamed into the void and told Hecate that you're an evil bastard.
I would not be surprised to have been cursed for inventing this, so I accept the statement.
Because I think I got to the end point where Rywek is, and I didn't find the last little nudge that is needed here.
Yeah, it's definitely a tricky nudge. I tested this level a lot, and like I said, this is a level where we're seeing a lot of undos here. This is a level where essentially there's only one way out, and it's very non-obvious. And to make it worse, it doesn't feel right.
Do you have to move F to the right? You have to move D to stop the laser temporarily for F to move to block the laser on the top right. Use S or D to put 2 of the boxes where they need to go, and then bring D back around to hit the laser, free F, and then we can put the final boxes where they need to go.
Look at that. The light of knowledge has shined upon you. Yes, essentially that's the trick of the level. You cannot finish this level until you have put 1 block on one of the targets, with F locked out, by the way, which will block the 3 others, and then you have to free F and finish it with the D key, or D finger. That is the only way to beat this level. And if you don't get 1 on there, you won't have enough space to move around with the D key to get everything in there, or with the F key for that matter. So blocking the laser with the D and trying to do it with F just does not work.
Yeah, so we gotta use F to block for a moment and hit it on that bottom right spot.
Correct. This level harkens back to the earlier laser jail level, as it were, where you have to lock up a finger and then unlock it with the other finger. So very, very, very difficult on, shall we say, thinking through all the possible steps to beat this. And of course, we see here on the left, BTS is working towards the same solution where Rywek is at already. Honestly, the left side of the level, like I said earlier, is just sort of staging your items properly. So we see
Making sure
Rywek's
you
considering.
can actually manipulate them over the course of the little waves that we're creating.
Mm-hmm. So really, when BTS hits that last gate, as it were, there's not much knowledge gap that'll separate them.
The main difference in the knowledge will be that Rywek will know what has not worked yet.
Correct. You know, BTS making a mistake here. He's not going to get the S unlocked because there's nothing to free it without locking D. So you cannot get those 2 boxes, which are required. I don't know if maybe BTS is just experimenting right now, or they didn't notice.
Yeah, because there's no way to get S back up there to
Yeah,
free D
well,
after you lock it up.
Yeah, you could lock it up with D, but then you're just going to be,
Yeah, S can't get
nothing
up there
left.
without pushing those
Mhm.
blocks away.
So, worked into a corner, as is the case in Sokoban.
So what is your favorite Sokoban?
Personally, man, so many options. Like I said, obviously Handshakes inspired this. It's definitely a Sokoban game. I wouldn't necessarily call it my favorite, but I did enjoy the experience and the ideas presented there. Favorite Sokoban? I mean, let's just be honest. I mean, there's so many of these cove mounts now, like it's hard to keep track. So
I think we're done with the. I think Hapulia has said that we're done with the cove mounts.
okay, thank goodness. I can't keep up. I remember thinking, seeing Cheskoban and thinking, like, that was an interesting idea. Like, I enjoyed the idea presented by it. Yes, there, Emerith stating the same. There was one. Was it this? Was it called Snakeoban? What was the game that we played with snakes and
Serpent Fusion?
Sokoban? What's that? What is it?
Serpent Fusion.
Is that what it was? Okay, I didn't remember the name. Yeah, that one was very interesting because, like, if I remember correctly, your snake could be in a variety of shapes, and then you could push the snake too, right?
Basically, you had to use the back end of the snake to catch the boxes in order to increase the size of the snake.
There you
and
go.
use it to go over water and stuff. Yeah, that's Serpent Fusion.
Perfect.
Serpent Fusion, phenomenal game. I hate Sokoban. Serpent Fusion is phenomenal. Go play it.
It is free on Steam.
It's also free if you play it in MT.
Rywek. And at the end game, but the wrong one, as we've heard.
Yes, so this is a classic trap solve. You'll find out very soon he cannot get the box out that he needs. That's by the base of the D finger. I think he recognizes it. He sees that there's something wrong.
I guess if we're talking about other stretchy-based snaky kind of games, you know, Snakebird, of course, gets a mention here. But it's not Sokoban. Snakebird is a much different beast. All right, we're seeing some movement with F here, which is at least promising, but we can't, with that box in the bottom middle, or in the right middle, we can't have that there. We need that space in order to put S in that hole, in order to get F to curl around.
Correct. Yeah, I mean, and ironically, the trick of this level, as it were, like we just seen the fake out solve, but the trick of this level is, again, it's the ladder, as it were, right? You have to enable and disable specific fingers in a correct sequence, which requires specific placement. So, this is funny. Like, you see in Rywek's screen briefly, he was like all the way up there in the corner. Right? See, he's trying to give as much space as possible, except this is all on a grid. Filling up those top two or just going straight to the right makes no difference at all to the amount of space you use. But every player I watch do this, they always try, go as far around, leave as much open space. Why? Because it's Sokoban, you want space to work with.
So putting the boxes
BTS,
closer together, yeah, making space.
BTS is making progress, but has already put a box in an invalid spot.
I feel like that's still workable. Let me look here. So, yeah, this is still
Oh
workable.
yeah, it is, yeah, because you can put D on that spot that's one row below.
And
you can
Rywek
still put
here.
D here, and allow F to come around here.
Exactly. Yeah. F can free itself after you no longer need D at one point higher than that target level.
Yeah.
And so you need the space with the boxes around. And what Rywek's run into here is he feels like he's in a better position to block it, but he can't get them out of there. You notice he has no room. Even if D were to block the laser right now, he can't get everything over on the right and up as needed. Even though he's got F room to work with, because he can't push anything down and he can't get the one that's by the corner of D.
Yes, also made it all the way to the last laser and then probably noticed that there's no real path to get all the boxes in.
Yeah, there's a great degree of flexibility earlier on the level. Like, I've seen players shuffle those boxes a lot. Like, of course, the exact box on the exact target, it's not a thing. Any target does, any box does. But it's definitely, when you get to this point, there's only one way out.
This is the hard part about commentating Sokoban. Sometimes there's a lot of, oh, come on, BTS, come on, do that, and then go, wait. BTS?
I mean, to be fair, yeah, we're at 56 minutes. Neither of them. Oh, that is a good. Yes.
Not
Oh,
quite,
no,
but
yes. That is the moves. This might be a lead change. No resets, right? No resets.
Don't undo this.
Do it.
Commit to the bit.
This is the way to win. Yes.
Yo.
Okay, so we see it here. We have all the targets blocked, but D is free. And what can we do with these boxes? We start shepherding them closer. Bright Shadow commenting on our commentary. Yes, that's correct.
It's very accurate.
We can see it, and as a player, I know it's true. You do not. Yeah, so this is a little tricky right here. So that particular box needs to be in just the right spot so that F can later put it in, because D is absolutely, there we go. If he had not pushed that down,
so now we can put this one in this little bottom spot right there.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Put it in a little cubby or whatever you want to do with it here. It's got to be down one. You can't. It's got to be on the correct side of D. There we go.
Back it up one more. Back it up one more.
I mean, it can move up in that space. Or down. I think I would recommend having it back one. You might have to undo this here in a minute. So.
Yeah, you got to undo it because there's no way to get the.
Yeah, you're right.
Those boxes moved. So just undo those moves. Don't do a full undo.
Looks like BTS is almost there.
There we go.
Rywek hasn't done the step right with the F finger yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. One more step and we're good to go. BTS just pushes to the right one.
Yeah. So close. He's
I
gonna
mean,
leave
that technically works.
Yeah, it does. It does. And the thing that I'm curious about is seeing whether or not BTS will push the boxes up in the row there. No, he's just gonna push them over. Okay. Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
recognizes
so I think
that
that's clear
doing
lead
that
change
would
here
error.
because this is it.
Nicely done, BTS. Figures out that we need to freeze and unfreeze the F.
And now looks like cropping is our enemy at the moment because we are missing the edges just a little bit.
Okay, but this is 1-9, so it's the
This
final
is a-
stage. You said it's still pretty difficult.
Yes, it is. Yes, anything can happen here, especially in a puzzle game like this. So, as I mentioned earlier, I'll just say this once, like, this level, in contrast to the prior one, is much more open. There are some definite requirements of things you must do to beat it, but there's also some flexibility in this case. But I have seen, I think, 3 solutions to this level. Obviously, the one that, shall we say, I intended, and then 2 testers came up with variations, as you might say, on the answer.
So the first thing that I notice is that we have to blast both those rows of blocks out. We need 4 block boxes, and the only way to get those is to do a horizontal blast there to get that top box to be freed upward or downward, because we can't push it up, otherwise it's up against the wall, and we need to blast the box, the other laser, that way. So I'm thinking we need to start by moving F up and bringing that laser to the right to break that box, and then maybe we can just ditch that laser in the top left corner and get rid of it.
Sounds like a good as plan as any, and you're definitely reading parts of that right. Yeah, the you need 4 boxes, and obviously the ones in the 3 in a row are not going to help us at all. So those are designed to be destroyed. Correct. And yes, once you have a laser that, in this case, faces up, down, left, or right, that can move to the left and destroy all those, then
but we
you'll
can't
have freed
move
up
to
the
the left
corner.
immediately because we'll blast that box up there in top right.
Yes.
So that would have been the flaw in the strategy.
Which, to be fair, you would have noticed after you did it once.
There. Or at least we assume so.
Rywek is still working on figuring out how to cross the laser gate. Alright, so BTS figuring out he needs to protect the box, but has now trapped himself because there's no way to move that laser in a position that does not also lock up S permanently.
No, you can use F to back up, go up one. If we use F to go back this way, come up here, then S is free and can push this back over to the side. F will be locked up still though.
But how do you think S will get there? It has to go around F to get there then.
Maybe. That's fair.
So BTS has protected the box, but at the cost of being able to extract it. That's okay, this is the learning mission here, looks like.
Has figured out, yeah, just get rid of that laser. Don't worry about that laser anymore. That's at least a good start, but...
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, like, he can't get the first box, as it were, the closest one, in place now, but getting one on target at least feels good. You've cleared a little bit of the map, the space, it's tucked away, protected, so
Now the issue we're running up against is, well, one, we have that locked in box, but two, how can we get that, how can we get the horizontal laser? Because right now, we would need to get F past, well, we can't push that laser down, the one facing right, because it'll just pin F, and it can never be maneuvered. But yeah, this is unsolvable by multiple degrees. There's no way to move either of those lasers on the right anymore without screwing up everything, basically.
Yeah, and I'll point out, I mean, you identified.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
Oh, yes, you're right. Rywek is figured out at least part of the solution. Yes, leaving space. Oh, no, not enough.
Yo.
There we go. We're going to see it solved, so the game is afoot.
I thought the game was a hand. Have I been lied to this entire time? These were toes?
Listen.
Makes it more
phalanges,
horrifying.
Tarsals, metatarsals. Let's not judge. There we go. Progress. Yeah, internet dirigible. Mentioning that the goal was much longer originally. Absolutely, but to be fair, as you note, I did put in my submission notes that I was not safe to judge how long this would be, and it may require some tester input as to what the actual goal of the game should be.
We are at an hour and 4 minutes, folks. At this point, if this last race were to take a half hour, I believe that we would be calling this in favor of BTS, who got to this stage first. I do not believe that individual target amounts are a valid metric for having had made better progress in this one. But that's up to the mod to decide. The mod can decide that, yeah, BTS got 2 out of 4 targets, but Rywek got 3 of them, so that's all. So a reminder, folks, mystery tournament, if you get to time, which is an hour and a half, the moderator of the match gets to have the ultimate say on what is the most progress marker. And they have to just make a judgment call on that. We don't have a thing ahead of time. We don't have anything else. So that's that.
Yeah, and I think, obviously it's required to have somebody to make that judgment call for whatever the justification is. My very first MT match was, in fact, I think it's Glassmaker Glabus, and that was called on time without reaching the goal.
Glasskeeper.
Glasskeeper, thank you.
Yeah,
I always get it wrong.
I did that, yeah.
We also have a match scheduled for in about 5 minutes, I think, but I'm assuming they're gonna hold off.
As they tend to. Yeah.
So one thing I was going to mention earlier about this level that they're on, there are only 2 lasers that can be used to unlock the extra boxes, as it were, that you need on the left, because there's only one laser that points to the left, which means it can be pushed to the left. You can't push a laser facing right to the left because the laser itself will freeze you, prevent you from pushing it. And there's only one laser that points up, which is the only one that can be used to unlock those top ones, or the further left ones. So no matter what else they do have to get the left-facing laser and the upward-facing laser all the way to the other side. And so far we've only seen that happen on one instance with one of those lasers.
I don't think I've seen anyone touch the left-facing laser so far.
Right now, I think they're trying to figure out how to safely stash and save the box, which I think they have the right idea, is that they're just too afraid to push it down one more, but they gotta they can't until they push that laser out of the way is the problem.
Yeah. I mean, the combination of the right-facing laser and the up-facing laser is, shall we say, a double whammy, which, okay, here we go. We're seeing something from BTS, recognizing that he can protect that box.
There we go. Rywek does the as well.
Different approach, similar result.
That's what I was thinking. I was just about to draw that seems like a safe spot to put that box. But yeah, using the finger to block it, realizing that you can push the laser off of the finger.
It's important here. From here, Rywek has got himself in a weird position. We cannot push that upward-facing laser up because if we do, we can no longer push it down to slide it to the left and destroy the boxes we need to destroy. So there we go.
All right, so it looks like BTS is going to save this box now, and he's going to be able to put it in the spot. Getting
ring of the laser.
It didn't need to be, but you know,
laser
hey,
doesn't
why
do
not?
anything anymore. But both of them almost simultaneously here, putting two boxes in place, the same boxes. Rest of the board pretty much in the same state.
Yeah, so let's see.
D finger's a tricky unlock. This is the first level, I think perhaps even the only level, if I remember, where this is the second level, where you start with a finger in a locked state, and you have to unlock it. It's just unusable at the beginning. I don't know what Rywek saw that he felt to reset.
Uh-oh. I see. Okay, yeah, we need... I see. We need A to come around all the way around the top. Push this laser down. F to push this laser away. S to come here and push this laser down to free A. And then we have all fingers free and ready to go.
More or less. Yeah, so the trick, or the catch, is that BTS here has figured out how to unlock D, but has locked himself inside with S. So undone to that point. See, this is funny, because F is now locked, which you will require, because you need it to push that box up. Otherwise, you will not be able to fill all the targets.
BTS is at least experimenting, which is a good start.
This is true. Rywek has gone back to ground state. But BTS definitely had the right approach on handling D, but using S, as you stated, was the wrong choice. I think, if I remember correctly, there was two solutions to this particular mini problem, as it were, to the puzzle. And here we're seeing part of it.
Oh? What's this?
No. S is permanently locked.
That's
BTS
not
has
quite.
locked the finger.
BTS is doing a good job of not undoing the whole stage, though. Rywek losing all that progress is an unfortunate move because they had it in the exact same position BTS does. Yeah, I think this is unintuitive that we need to use A to come all the way around to work on this problem.
Which is hilarious to me because this level, as initially designed, as you can see, most levels prior to this, most of the fingers were, close to each other at least. This one's a little more spread out. They're not on the same plane even. And that's because this level was initially designed with the idea that A and S would have to sort of like wrap around this long snake to to beat the, to push things around and let you manage what's happening with the DNF fingers.
At this point, I've already forgotten what my solution was. Oh, right, now I remember what my solution was. Yeah. Like, you see the consideration of I need to push this with F, but F is needed to push it to the right.
Yeah, and
Or to the
also
left,
you
to the
need F
left.
to put things, put F to push things up. You have to have F at the free for at least 3 boxes, which we've seen 2, right? Like BTS has right now. So the third box has to make it inside, and the third box is going to have to, in this case, come from either in front of D or from the left-facing laser destroying some stuff, which basically is D as well.
BTS still not realizing that this is just wrong because S is just locked and we need to get that corridor in order for the right facing laser to do its job.
Yeah, we're going to see some undos here. There they are. So unfortunately, see Rywek back to no boxes because he did have 2 earlier, so we know he can achieve those things. I'm wondering if he just believes like he did those boxes too soon or something, but actually in this particular level there's no penalty, as it were, for getting the boxes out of the way earlier. In fact, it helps you, right? Like you have more room to work with if they're tucked up in the way and in the target.
Rywek getting closer because
we see a double push by BTS, recognizing 2-finger action here. I don't think we've seen that yet, despite being a fully functional mechanic, as it were.
We also had Rywek brought A all the way around and was really close to being able to push that one laser the correct way.
Mm-hmm. One thing I can say is, since I did not have an audio budget, as it were, we get to enjoy a variety of tunes as opposed to the same, 3-minute audio clip from open source, music played for an hour and a half.
What kind of monster would do such a thing?
I can't imagine. Oh, all right, Rywek breaking a path open for at least one of his left side boxes. See BTS undoing a bunch of stuff. By the way, you want to know what the most challenging thing about coding this particular game was? It was the fingers. Specifically the, as it were, animations. There's so many different states. The lengths of the fingers can be facing up, down, left, right. They can curve left, right, or clockwise, counterclockwise, if you want to think of it. And there's different rotations. And then the fingertips themselves, of course, have many different orientations. And the funny thing is that depending on which way you go, you can actually get the same fingernail image flipped, because of the way the code's written. It doesn't necessarily differentiate which direction it needs to be in if they flip.
Oh yeah, you're seeing that on A on Rywek's screen and S on BTS's. Yeah, this is the unintuitive bit. Oh, Rywek figured it out. A needs to block off that spot.
We've got some action here. So if Rywek can get F, okay, he's gonna move the box, protect it, fine. All right, yep, get this out of here. But what happens next?
Yeah, I don't
there
see
is
how,
still a solution.
how Rywek would free A now.
Well, it's pretty straightforward. He needs to get S over there and push it down to lock up F, but that doesn't mean it's the end of F because there are more ways to free it up. In fact, where he's at right now is a really good state. We need to get D in here because he's freed it up, but he's not used it yet.
Oh, BTS bringing A around. Come on, A. What are we doing? Oh, you brought A all the way over here and then you didn't use it? Go on, BTS. Down one more. Believe.
So here, see here, Rywek dealing with the fact he will not be able to push that Bucks up the chute, as it were, because he has locked F out, unless he finds some other way to free it up.
BTS has progress being made here. I don't know why he stopped there. That's certainly a spot. Why did we stop there? Oh,
Well,
BTS doesn't realize that you need that laser up there in order to free the other one.
backing up a little bit. So this is interesting. So you see on Rywek's screen, he has pushed the laser to the left, but what he has failed to do is keep S out of the way. Now he could undo to the point where he had not pushed that laser, but he is
Then
not going to be able to get the box now.
You would have needed to keep the leftmost laser in its place, like in place to protect A, I guess.
That would have been
Or
an
just
option.
use
Yeah.
a different finger, like keep A down, keep A all the way retracted, and use a different
Yes.
finger.
So now
Yeah,
we
the
need
tech-
to use.
No, you're fine. I was just saying the technique I used is generally get the fingers out of the way and use one of the right side fingers to shove it down the end. So
Yeah, so now what BTS needs to do is use D to push that block down, freeing A and stunning F, and we'll go free F later. For now,
Yes.
we just need those spots taken.
yeah, well, and D needs to push the downward facing laser all the way to the right to protect F. That's what they have not caught on to yet, is that downward facing laser is very important because now F is locked, right? What BTS has just done is prevented him from pushing any boxes up the chute, so he cannot complete this level now. He needs that downward facing laser to stop the right facing laser from locking up F.
That's what I
Very
was
close.
missing as well.
We are very close to the end if this happens. And speaking of the end, 9-minute warning.
Because I was thinking about S just coming over here and freeing F, and then F can go over there and do something. But yeah, I realized there's not enough space for F to curl around the box and then push it back into the spot. So yeah, we need to use that downward facing air laser to block off the right one.
Yeah, and to be fair, yes, that is one possible solution. So you need to have, like in this case, D can get that laser out of there if you're using something else to sort of, push it down to the end. As soon as, like, you could push A around to push it leftward, use D to push it up, and you could still have something to get it in place, but you have to catch all that.
Yatagami asking, how do we deal with tiebreakers? It is going to be at the mod's discretion to decide who has made the most progress.
We're seeing some undos on BTS' side.
So this is actually a really interesting parallel between Mystery Tournament and Kusa Grande. Kusa Grande, they try to be upfront about what progress markers look like. Is it furthest pixels? Is it how many boxes have made their way onto the marker, for instance? In Mystery Tournament, we kind of expect you to get to the goal. So we don't have that same upfront progress marker in the way Kusa Grande does, and so we kind of leave it at the mod's discretion. Because ideally, testers have tested that the game will not go to an hour and a half. If you are reaching that hour and a half, is a bit of a fluke.
I think,
Or at least, so we like to think.
I think
Or
this
you're keeping,
tourney, we only had 2 matches so far go to time. So yeah, it's fairly rare.
Now, I don't know, does D have to go up and right, or because it's in the middle of the thing, can it just go straight down from the start?
It can absolutely go straight down. I have not seen one of them try it, because that downward facing laser absolutely needs to go to the right, and D is the finger to do it.
Oh.
There we go.
Speak of
See?
the devil.
And now
There you
F
go.
is protected, so it's basically free at this point. I think that may be the clear right here.
All right, BTS getting the final legs here, so we need to bring A down to protect it. Don't let A get stunned. That's fine.
Probably. No, yeah, you're not going to be able to get that out. He's going to have to undo because... Oh, okay, I see. Never mind. A is actually available, so...
Yeah, there we go. BTS has this.
Mm-hmm.
BTS has this. That's it. A for the win.
Just 6 minutes left and BTS does it. There's it done.
GG, and that's out of 25 minutes on a single level. Gosh.
Yeah, it's a very rude game you've made here. You thought we could complete it all in an hour and a half.
Oh, but I mean, I can.
Just because your mother is immune to insults doesn't mean that other people's mothers are immune to insults. So you never know how rude you're being.
This is fair. I am a little sad that we won't get to see the mechanic for the next level, so I don't know if I should spoil it or not, but it is a fun one. I enjoyed coding it, and the best part is when I made it, it was very easy to implement because of how I had coded the rest of it. It was basically a tweak to a box.
Let's get roar radio reaction as I boot up the. Oh no! Nope! No! No! Nope! Nope! Nope!
Muir, what was the name of the first level again? Do you remember from what you said
Sokoban was a
earlier?
mistake.
Yes, that was the very first level name I typed in here, and it is still true.
Folks, boxes are meant to be squares. That is all.
We see Rywek here. He's definitely got himself in a bad position because F is locked, and there's no good way to unlock it without using another finger, perhaps. Maybe not impossible. I don't remember if this is a losing state or not, but still got a lot of work ahead of him to get all this in place.
Oh, why doesn't it reset the timer? I was trying to set up the other racing slot too, but that's the timer. 1:26:20. Oh, so I have to.
I can say for my sake, I mean, I really enjoy seeing people, play something I created like this and seeing it empty as well. I was not even sure if it was accepted or rejected. That's, I don't want to say a complaint, but one thought I have about the process is it's a little opaque at times, which is fair. You don't necessarily want to give away all your secrets, but it is nice to know that people have, whether they loved or hate it, had played and experienced something that you put a lot of time and effort into. So I have enjoyed seeing this today.
Yeah, we're happy to have your game. Was it in last MT already? I feel like I've seen it before.
No. So this is first MT it was submitted for. It was finished while MT18 was still active, but okay, yeah, we're about to see a clear from Rywek here. But yes, it was not submitted for that one. Although several people probably played it because it was shared in chat. And GG.
Well, completion from Rywek.
And here we see a brief moment of the next mechanic. These are, instead of crates, we have spheres. They roll, and
Nope.
they will hit each
Nope.
other like little, what is it, Newton's cradle balls, and knock the next one on. It's a very fun mechanic.
Nope. We have BTS and Rywek here. Hello.
You both literally just yelled "fuck."
I
Oh.
apologize for what you just endured.
No, it was fun, and then I completely forgot on the last level. I have another laser I can use as a block. Whoops.
Yeah, that was definitely the holdup. The main takeaway was that you were able to find the ladder, the finger ladder in stage 8 quicker than Rywek was, which definitely, because before that point you were behind the entire race.
Oh, what was number 8 again?
Wow. So it's
Oh,
the
what
fact
is
that I was
our-
stuck
oh,
on
yeah.
8. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
one
So
wasn't that
stuck on
bad.
8.
8 gave me no significant trouble.
Lucky you.
Which ones did I hate? 1-7 I hated.
Oh, I mean everybody does.
1-7 was miserable. 1-6 was fine. I had no problem with 1-6. 1-5 took me a minute, but I got it. But yeah, 1-9. I forgot the laser was a block, and so I just left it there until I got the aha. Then I had no problem solving it. 3 minutes.
The lasers being used as a block was not significant in earlier levels, but I will say every single thing I put into those levels, I did very carefully mark out whether or not I had shown it to somebody yet before it was a required mechanic per se. So yeah, that's one call out there, and yeah, I do apologize for, shall we say, the cluster of boxes.
I mean,
Oh my god. So
these were
many.
boxes.
You did not hear earlier, but I did start that level with nothing but all boxes, and then started progressively deleting and altering them.
Yo, I heard you like boxes. We put boxes in your boxes so you can Sokoban while you Sokoban. Funny though, I actually like Sokoban. Yeah, it's a good game. Like,
I did not enjoy it. I'm sorry. I did not enjoy it.
You're fine.
I like puzzle games, so it's kind of hard to piss me off.
Don't worry. You're more than welcome to dislike it. So that was which one was that? Was that Wizards or Lizards?
4.
Yeah.
Lizards 4. Rywek,
Hello.
unfortunately, you got Sokoban. You've been Soko banned from the tournament. How do you
It's
feel?
into the
Oh,
Shadow Realm. Wait, no, that's
I
copyright.
feel like we haven't plumbed the depths of the finger puns yet, so let's try that again. I don't know. I don't have one though.
I have
Quite
8
put your finger on
fingers.
it.
I couldn't
Right.
put my finger on it. Thank you.
I was hoping that it would be what is it with Loving Arms, where like WASD and the arrow keys controlled each hand individually. That's cool.
Yeah, that was cool. I'm sure there's like great strategies for like moving them all at the same time. It's like, no, I don't have the time or brain power to do all of this. I'm just gonna go one at a time.
I was
Oh,
hoping.
Sounds like you haven't played the rest of the game yet.
I'm assuming that there's going to be some kind of thing where you have to use 2 fingers at the same time to block lasers.
Oh yeah.
So that would make sense, since you can control more than 1 finger at a time.
Did you see stage 7? Does anything make sense?
No, I don't know if I want to get that far.
Well, folks, thank you so much for giving us an amazing show as always. BTS, congratulations for staying in the tournament. You're going to be moving on to face off against. You know, when I start saying these words, I should
It
probably
is
actually
Flip
have
663 or Yuga, whoever
Yuga.
wins.
Or Flint Stick. Okay. Well, good luck with that next match. Rywek, unfortunately, that's it for your stay here in Mystery Tournament 19. How do you feel about your overall enjoyment of Mystery Tournament as a whole and your participation so far?
I got really great games this time. I was pretty happy. I enjoyed my wins. I did not enjoy my losses, of course. My losses are always my failures. So, basketball games are just I can't do basketball apparently.
Well,
That's a dummy.
there's always next year.
Yeah.